What is up, gamers? The Red Dragon here, and we are back with the Splinter Cell Blacklist walkthrough. We are playing mission number 1, the Safehouse, and this is a Perfectionist difficulty walkthrough as well as a Ghost playstyle walkthrough. So we are going to try to avoid everybody at all cost. And if we do encounter somebody, then we are going to take them out and just knock them out. We're not going to kill them. Not yet. We'll save that for another playthrough. So, right here, we are just waiting for these two guys to split up, get done talking. Whenever it comes to sections in the game where I wait a while, like I did right there, like those two people talked for a long time, I'm going to speed that up. I'm going to skip that out. So, keep that in mind when you're playing through. Now, whenever they do split up, you can go in the door, walk behind this guy. Be very, very quiet. Walk very slowly. And because if you step too hard, you step too fast, they will turn around, they will spot you, and they will find you. So we've got to be careful, at least until we upgrade our suit and get a little bit more stealthy components with it. So this first section, it is telling you to go into the room on the right. It's telling you to go outside. So it's kind of, and it gave you points for exploration. So with this game, like with several other games where you can play stealthy, there are different routes and choices that you can make in the game. That's why I love games like this, because it gives you options. You watching me play this right now, you can play it just like me, or you can go play it completely different. You can go, you know, all guns a-blazing, like I've mentioned before. Right here, notice I'm going to go around the building. There's one window, the window's down. I'm going to go to this window right here that's up. There's a guy in there, so I had to jump back down real quick, but he leaves the room, so we're going to be able to sneak back in here. Now, this room, there's several people in it, so as long as they got their backs turned, you can just sneak through here. We're going to try to bypass all of them. Again, don't get too excited with the joystick. Sometimes, if I'm in a situation like that, I'll have to restart, you know, because I'll mess up and I'll get excited and I'll go too fast, trying to hurry up and get by. But sometimes it's just better to just go nice, slow, and steady. So this room right here, we are going to have to take these people out. We've got to get to that objective. So there is no way of getting around this that I believe. So what we're going to do is I'm going to wait right here behind the counter. This guy who's closest to me, I can take him out right here. And I did do this a few different times where I took him out. There is a chance that you can get caught though. But if you just wait long enough, he'll go in there to take a piss. And that is a perfect spot to take him out. So we're going to go ahead, choke him out. And notice that every time that I choke somebody out or do something, it'll pop up down below that says that it was a stealth takeout, so it'll give me points. So if you're wanting to know, if you're playing the game and you're afraid that you were caught or something, you're afraid that somebody saw you, that is one way to pay attention to know whether or not you were caught or whether or not you got the stealth kill. If it gives you points for a stealth kill, then you're going to be fine. So okay, so we've got several people out there. What we're going to do is we're going to pull up our sticky noise maker, and we're just going to throw it right here at the door. We're going to try to lure another person into the room right here because, you know, people, this is a good place to hide all the bodies, and only one person comes in at a time. Now, this right here, if I would have thrown it a little bit closer to me, maybe the guy would have came closer. I don't know. But also, if it's not close enough, then they won't hear it. So you have to just kind of play around with it to determine how to or where to throw those things down in order to lure people in. So we're going to take a peek, see how many more people we've got here. You see this guy, he was coming close. He was starting to walk this way. He's in the doorway. See, he turned around. So if I had another noisemaker, I probably could lure him back in. But what I decided to do was kind of just wait around a little bit and let them go back to their original spots. And I guess they totally forgot that there were two other people with them. They're not really paying attention. They're staying busy. So I take that one guy out real quick, and then I go and take the other one out. Now, I jumped through the the countertop there, and it looked really cool, but that was probably a little risque. So I could have been caught right there. So if you walk around, you could probably do that a little bit more sneakier than what I just did. So this next little section for the first part right here, there's nobody around, so you can run full speed if you want to. There is a lot of noise being made also, so there is a less likely chance that you're going to be caught if you're not being as sneaky, so you can hump the ground if you want to and then move right along. Now at the end of the mission, it'll tell you, whether or not you were able to go through the game and play the mission completely stealthy, and if you got ghosts. And I'll show you exactly what all of that looks like by the end of the mission. So right here, we're going to use a zip line, and you can use the zip line and fly down and jump on that guy and knock him out. But if you just wait, he will actually go and walk towards the back, and he'll sit down and start doing something. So again, this will allow us, if you're on the controller, just press B to drop, and you can drop off before you get to him, and that way you can avoid and leave him alone, because you'll actually get more points at the end of the game if you leave people alone, if you don't interact with them. I mean, we are Sam Fisher. We're trying to be silent here. We're trying not to leave any tracks or traces that we were here. Get in, get out, and nobody knows you were there until the bodies are found eventually, or they start stinking, I guess. Alright, so gonna sneak around here, get on the outside of the wall, gonna hop down, make sure he don't see our hands moving around there. And just be careful, if you get to moving too fast like that guy, you saw the indicator come up on the left over there. Just have to really pay attention and wait for the right opportunity to make your move. See, like right here, I could have made it into that door. I'm going to try to make it into the door to the left, but it's just better just to just be patient, wait it out, let him come around, do his thing. And you'll notice that he is looking over the walls. And if you are underneath a wall and they start looking over it, you better get down as low as you possibly can, because they will spot you. And so that'll ruin everything. So play it safe. Jump down. As he starts walking away, we're going to go ahead and jump over, but don't walk right into the door, because you saw that there was another guy who just walked past the doorway. Sometimes that guy is looking right in that doorway, so you have to be careful. So I just huddled up into a corner right here, and if you wait just a little bit, he will eventually leave. Now, I've never seen him come into this room. He might, so I don't know. So you just have to, I guess, kind of prepare for that in case it happens. But again, we're going to move along to the side. Try not to, usually if you're in the game and you're in a section where you are walking on the ground or walking up steps and stuff, look around, because a lot of times there's other places that you probably could go. You want to spend as little time on the same ground level as the enemies as possible. And a lot with the games and with the level designs, it's made where there are different areas and ways to get around it. And so a lot of the fun in Splinter Cell is just, or not even just Splinter Cell, but any game in particular where you're playing stealthy, a lot of the fun is just going around and exploring and finding new areas and new ways to take things and enemies out. So right here, there's a guy walking back and forth. He's on the phone. We're going to raise the window, and we're going to sneak around whenever he's walking around to his back to us. If we hurry up, he won't spot us. And then you'll just press X to bag and tag him. And next, we are ready to move on.
What's the best route to Coben?
Head down towards street level.
Got it.
So this next little section right here, we're going to move around to the left-hand side, go out the windows, and there's only a certain distance that you can go. So you can only go to right here to this window. So we need to go into the window and move to the left. You can mark enemies, so I just marked this enemy. And this is a really good technique, because I sped this up, but you'll notice that you can watch that marker all over your screen, so you can see him through walls, so you'll know exactly where he is. So just wait for him to come back by you and pass, and then you can go and you're free to just travel around as you please. As you get to this point, I probably could have timed this a little bit better. He almost caught me as I was following down right there, but he didn't. So, close but no cigar. And it still counts as we playing stealthy. This section right here is gave me a little bit of trouble. So pay attention, because there's two people out in this area, and I've replayed the mission several times, and they're usually in different places whenever I play. So you just have to really pay attention and know where they are. Again, use that marking technique. That is really going to help you out. If you get both of these guys marked, it makes it so much easier, because you know exactly where they're at. And what we're going to do is try to sneak out the window and run right up the wall to the right side here. And then once you get up to the wall, you can just hug it, and they don't seem to see you up there. So that's a good thing. That guy seeing you doesn't matter. It's just a civilian. So at this section right here, there is a dog. And I believe that if you have your stealth upgraded, then you might can jump down and bypass the dog. But this dog gave me a lot of trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and take him out. So he goes around to that corner, and don't look, PETA. Just look away, and you can knock the dog out, and that way you don't have to worry about it, because they will pick up your scent, and they will follow you, bark at you, and they'll spot you. So that'll ruin your ghost playstyle. So don't want to do that. So I'd rather just take out the dog. This section fairly easy, even though there does seem to be a lot of people out here. I've done this a few times, and I never did really have any trouble getting through this area right here. There's just this one guy that you really have to pay attention to, and as soon as he walks by, he's walked past you, then you can go ahead and jump over the walls. This is another section, though, where there is a dog out in the middle. So I'm going to spot the dog, because that is the one thing I'm worried about. And then I'm going to use the cover system, wait for those guys to split up, and then just follow along to the right side. We're going to, where that guy is walking, we're going to move up to that building and then jump on top of the roof. And then once you're on top of the roof, you really don't have much to worry about. They can't spot you, or at least it doesn't look like it. But I wouldn't stand up and stand on the edge or nothing, but if you're playing somewhat smart, then they shouldn't spot you at least. So right here, there's a guy guarding our door. I marked him, waited a while, and he eventually walked out of the room. So this is going to have, or give us an opportunity to go ahead and move up closer. I don't know if shutting the doors behind you makes a big difference. I know if I was in real life, it would make a difference. I would want to shut the doors. So that's up to you if you want to shut doors behind you. I'm not really sure if that alerts anybody. I've left some doors open, and nobody seemed to really care. There is one section up here, though, I'll tell you about that. I did close the door, and I'll explain why. This section is the sloppiest section of this walkthrough, and I got really lucky. And I don't have a snake cam, I don't believe, right now, so I can't peek under the windows or under the door. So I'm just guessing at this point. It's just open it up. Hopefully there's nobody there. There was somebody there. So I got into the corner, and thankfully he's knows something up, so he's coming this way. I had to take him out, which kind of sucked. I'm sure you could do this probably and not get seen. But I'm going to have to get rid of this body. I don't want it just out here in the open. So I am going to put it out in this hallway. And since I didn't see anybody out here, I'm hoping that it's okay. I will shut the door in this instance, because I don't want anybody walking outside. Again, not sure if that makes any difference, but whatever. And then I almost got caught again with that guy. Sometimes in stealth games, part of it is luck. And so I got very lucky in this section. You'll see that there's a lot of people out in the open though. So I think moving up to the left side is still the best bet. To come this route is the best way, and it looked as if there was only really one person out here. I was being careful. I was trying to listen. Again, there's other cues that maybe you're not seeing in the video, and one of those is audio cues. So pay attention. If you got your audio turned up, you got your headphones on, you'll be able to hear people talking. You'll hear movement around, so that way you'll know whether there's people nearby. So our marker is very close, but there's a laptop over here in this other room that you can get. That'll give you some extra money, which is always handy if you're going to buy little extra customizations. And now we are ready for the hardest part in the game. So there's a cutscene, and we have to enter this room. Now, you're trying not to alert anybody, so we have to be completely stealthy. This is where the sleeping gas comes in. This is why I told you that you need sleeping gas. So you'll notice that there is an opening above the doorway, which is very convenient to slip in sleeping gas. Now you'll notice that this is the hardest part, trying to make sure that this is in the right position. That guy in the back corner that I'm aiming towards is the hardest one to get. Now if you pay attention to the trajectory, you don't want it hitting the ceiling, you don't want it hitting the walls on the outside. You want it to just slip right below and to try to throw it as far into the room as you can. And you'll see that it actually knocked out all three with one sleeping gas canister. Now, I did have my stun gun in my hand so that you can do it where maybe you knock out two people with the gas and then you go into the room really fast and hit the other person with your stun gun. So you can still do it like that, but if you time it just perfectly or make it just perfectly, then you can actually knock out all three with one sleeping gas grenade. So in this section right here, there's three people. We have a stun gun in our hand. Make sure you have your stun gun, and you do have to, I believe, take out all of these people with the stun gun, or at least that makes it super easy if you do. And you'll see that I'm still getting stealth knockouts with this, so that doesn't go against our ghost gameplay whatsoever. And like I walked right past this guy and tried to go outside, but it wouldn't let me until I took him out. So apparently you do have to take that guy out. So now we are finished. You get to see your final score at the end. It tells you about the different play styles. It'll give you ghost. You'll see our ghost meter is going up, and I'll show you where else you can go. This isn't actually the best way to see if you've completed the ghost walkthrough. So if you go back to where you get to select your missions, if you go back to the screen, you can actually go back to the safe house like you were going to play it again. You can click on it. You can replay it, but you can also use the LB, RB buttons up top if you got a controller and scroll through, and it will tell you if you've completed all the objectives. So you'll see that we've got all the non-lethal, undetected places, and we also got Ghost, Perfectionist, which is now gold. So that is how you know if you made it through the level and you did everything right. Stay tuned for the next walkthrough. Be sure you subscribe and also like if you like this walkthrough, and that will do it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.